Louisiana Tech has been and always will be home to one of college basketball's most storied programs. It's a place in which stars are born and legends live on. In nearly 4 decades, the Lady Techsters have amassed over 950 victories and currently stand 24 wins away from becoming the second program in women's college basketball history to be victorious 1,000 times. It's something to be proud of, as Ruston has witnessed winning at the highest level. 3 national titles, 13 Final Fours, 26 NCAA tournament appearances, and the list goes on. This season, the Techsters have a chance to add on to the legacy at Tech, an opportunity to reclaim our rightful place as one of the elite programs in women's college basketball. The path, it won't be smooth, nor do we expect for it to be easy, but through hard work, determination, and 40 minutes of all-out effort, we shall prevail. We are proud of where we've been and excited about where we're going. But we want you to join us as we take this program to greater heights. So come home, we need your support. We're all Techsters. There's the saying around here, once a Techster, always a Techster. Columbia blue and red will stand strong forever.
Last year the theme was the tradition returns. This year the question is, where do you fit in? Hello, I'm Nicholas Lover and welcome to the Lady Techster Show. When we come back from break, I'll have head coach Teresa Weatherspoon talking about her expectations this season and also breaking down each individual player. Until then, you're watching the Lady Techster Show. Hello and welcome back to the Techster Talk. I'm Nicholas Love alongside head coach Teresa Weatherspoon. And Coach Weatherspoon, when you talk about the Lady Techsters this season, can you talk a little bit about what Adrian Johnson means to the program?
One word, everything. Adrian has truly worked tremendously hard in order to be that go-to player that we so desire. With Adrian being who she is for us, offensively and defensively, that brings about a great deal of success for us, but it also gives everybody else an opportunity to become what we call a superstar because of the attention that she demands.
Right, and Adrian was really a benefactor of the attention that Shanavia Dowdell received last year. You know, let's rewind for a minute. Let's talk a little bit about the difference between last year's team and this year's team from a mentality perspective.
Well, first of all, we were more of a traditional style basketball team last season because of the ability of Shanavia Dowdell. And when I say the traditional style basketball team was we were inside, outside. Whereas this season, we can do either or, but more so outside. Our post people can put their back to the basket, but more importantly, we can step out, stretch the defense, we can knock down threes, we can put the ball on the floor, we can get to the basket, and we're also able to have envision other people. And that's the difference in this team than last year's team. We're not more of an inside, outside. It's more outside to create, to get inside, to get others open.
Right, last year you won 23 games, you finished second in the WAC in the regular season, capture the WAC tournament championship, lose to Florida State in a very close game in the first round of the NCAA tournament. But let's go back to the WAC championship. The clock strikes 0. You beat Fresno State for the first time all season. What goes through your mind when that happens?
I didn't know what to think. I was more happy for our kids because they had worked so hard and no one believed in them, especially playing against Fresno State. Everybody had picked them to win, but they fought. They fought the entire game. It was a very tough game. And first of all, we stepped back a moment. It's very difficult against Nevada because that was a back and forth, very physical basketball game, and our reserved energy, we didn't know if we even had enough to play against a team like Fresno State. But our kids wanted it. They were hungry. They wanted it a little bit more, and down the stretch, we got it done.
For you as a head coach, you're entering your second full season with the Lady Techsters as head coach. You know, let's talk a little bit about the learning curve that you've received. You know, we've had several conversations in the past, and you talked a little bit about learning from Coach Leon Barmore as a player. And now you're entering your second full season, your first full season, you go to the NCAA tournament. What's been the biggest difference for you so far?
It has been not a very difficult transition, and the reason being is I still give kudos to Coach Barmore, because I asked him, don't only teach me as a player, I want to know why you do things as a coach, because I knew later on in life maybe that's something I wanted to do. So it was easy for me to be a player and coach as I played the game. So when I transitioned away from being a player, it was easy for me to understand what it's like to be a coach. Now, is it easy? No. Because now I have everybody in mind, that I must put everybody in places to be successful. I must understand everybody's strengths and weaknesses, which I had to do as a playmaker, so it's no different. And I must put them in positions to be successful at all times. Has it been hard for me? Yes. But what's the difference in being a player and working hard to be great at it, and then being a coach? I must do the very same thing to be great at coaching, and that's study, study, study. Understand my personnel, what works for my personnel. I'm not going to have a philosophy and say, understand my philosophy and do my philosophy. Well, I can kind of curve my philosophy in order to fit them, in order for them to be successful. So I've had to learn a lot on the run, you know, being thrown in the position that I was thrown in. But I love it. I love the challenge. I love the study of the game. I love being able to put the kids in positions to be successful, because I don't believe in anything else but success. And that was the hardest thing, maybe, is to change their mindset to get them to understand what they were capable of doing.
You know, you mentioned the challenge of the game. You mentioned studying the game. You mentioned putting your kids in the best possible position to succeed. And, you know, you've done a phenomenal job of scheduling. Because La Tech has one of the tougher non-conference schedules of all schools in America.
Right.
You know, you talk about the University of Georgia, Arkansas, Little Rock, who, you know, unfortunately the Techsters lost to this past Friday. You talk about the University of Houston, potentially Marquette, Mississippi State, LSU, Tulane. The list goes on. Talk about this non-conference schedule and the challenges you see, and what that means for the Lady Techsters as they try to return to the national scene.
It's big. You have to smile, and I definitely have to say Coach Carter did a wonderful job. And my job is to say yes or no to the team in which she brings to me. So when she brings it to me, I'm like, you know, that's great for us. That's great for us. Then you take a look at the schedule like, oh, this is pretty tough. But this is what you need. In order to be the best, you must play the best. And that's what I believe in. We will be ready come tournament time against the Fresno States, against Nevada, against all these teams. We will be ready simply because of our non-conference schedule. This is not easy. It's not easy at all. But what it does for our kids is build a great deal of confidence, build our RPI, give us an opportunity, God forbid, if we don't win the WAC tournament. And they take a look at what we did against non-conference teams with great RPIs. That helps us to get into the door. Did we take a look at someone else's schedule and say, well, how did they do that? Yeah, we took a look at Fresno State's schedule from last season. We won the WAC tournament. They still get into the NCAA tournament simply because of their scheduling and what they did against those teams. So we did the very same thing, not because we wanted to just do it. It's because we know we have the ability in our young players to get it done. And it's going to be the greatest thing. And a lot of those games are on the road. And in order to be successful, you must be road warriors.
Sit back, relax, and stay tuned. You're watching the Lady Techster Show. When we come back from break, we'll be talking about the rest of the Techsters, headlined by Whitney Jones. Stay tuned.